this edition of L33ts. I am Erin Romeo Moon Burke. I'm here with Matt Winchill.
Hello.
And Randy Ranson McCulloch.
Always a pleasure.
And we're on Star Trek Online on the North American server in Q's Winter Wonderland.
Here in the Frost Pavilion itself.
Mm-hmm.
And we have been having a few visitors, but nothing major yet.
And we're here to talk about Star Trek Online itself and its latest expansion, Delta Rising, which came out a couple of months ago. Back while we were still working on the review for our previous game.
That was Neverwinter.
Which was Neverwinter. Thank you. It's the name of it suddenly escaped me. I'm having the brain issues today. Anyway, Star Trek Online, as you know, takes place within these franchise of the Star Trek series. Star Trek, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise. And allows you to take control of a Federation, Klingon, or Romulan starship and run through a series of missions and adventures as you uncover the plot of what's going on 20 years after we last left the series. Delta Rising brings back the Delta Quadrant to the universe, which was last seen in the series Star Trek Voyager, in which the USS Voyager, under the command of Catherine Janeway, got lost in the Delta Quadrant approximately 70,000 light years from the Federation. Wow, I really can't talk today. Anyway, for those of you familiar with our galaxy, if you take a crosscut of it and draw a line from the center of the galaxy through Earth, and then turn that line so it's facing due south, the Delta Quadrant would be the northeast quarter of our galaxy. The Federation and most of the series have taken place in the Alpha and Beta quadrants, which is essentially the southern half of the galaxy. So basically, Voyager took place as far from the Federation as possible while still being in our galaxy. This means that most of the races, species, and everything encountered in there are basically new material that they can make. And it's ripe for the developers to come up with original ideas and scenarios and races that aren't as rigidly thought out as most of the Alpha and Beta Quadrant species are. After all, those have been getting worked on now for, 50 years almost? Just about
50, yeah.
66, 67 was when Star Trek first started. And it's the end of 14 now, so... Yeah, 48 years has been
Don't you want an Epo
Star Trek.
friend?
No ridges.
Anyway, this is the end of 3 cryptic games in a row that we have decided to review. We started off with Champions Online during its anniversary special this summer. And then this fall, we did Neverwinter. And now we're on Star Trek Online. And this is my personal favorite of the 3. Largely because of the systems they used and didn't overuse. I spent a good chunk of Neverwinter complaining about their overuse of their alternate currency, Astral Diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the game that first pioneered the alternate currency system, I believe, when it came out with dilithium. I could be wrong about that. Champions may have come out with Questionite first. Either way,
I'm not entirely sure. I found out about both around the same time, roughly.
Well, as the dilithium has more use than the Questionite does in Champions, but you do not need the sheer frick-ton amounts of dilithium in this game that you do Astral Diamonds in Neverwinter. Nor does their exchange actually work using dilithium. It uses energy credits, the base currency for the game.
Yes, which is, I will admit, a minor improvement, especially considering Neverwinter, but I think it's also the same with champions to some degree, that you can still buy a lot of stuff with just the normal in-game currency.
Oh yeah,
Simulated
yeah.
snowmen are approaching
Their
the gate to the
exchange
Winter
also
Wonderland.
uses
They will
their
arrive in
regular
1 minute.
currency that you get in the game.
Aren't
What
Epos
I'm saying is though that the dilithium is actually used to buy more better stuff in this game than the questionite is in there. I clicked on the dilithium store and my character started moving, and it did it again.
That's exactly what I did.
So now I know
we were
that.
just looking at the dilithium store here.
Freaking note!
I think it's what
Transport oil.
happens is I want to check to see if
Trying to do a moonwalk.
Apparently the
Anyway.
snowmen are attacking again.
that might be my controller glitching on me. Let me try something.
No, because I was doing
Aren't
that not
Epos
too long ago.
adorable?
See, I just clicked on
Yep,
this.
it is my controller glitching on me.
Eh,
Okay, so with the dilithium store,
mhm.
one of the things that's really nice that you can purchase, for the fact that very recent ships in Star Trek Online started to introduce carriers. If you know carriers, if you're in basic naval history, they carry a frick ton of fighter craft. The dilithium store you can use to buy improved versions of these fighter crafts. And my dreadnought is actually currently rocking a whole bunch of advanced Peregrine fighters, which only cost me a little over 30,000 dilithium. Had this been something to purchase in Neverwinter, it would have cost $1 million or
Don't
more.
you want an Epo friend?
A few 100,000 at the very least.
Yeah.
You can also buy specialty weapons and things for your ships in the dilithium store, and they only cost, I think the highest one I see is just short of 50k dilithium. So it's a lot easier to deal with.
Oh,
What?
apparently I can claim a tribble from the store.
Nice.
Claiming.
And then from the Zen store or the dilithium store?
Zen store.
Don't
Why
you
did you
want
join
an
Gorn
Epo friend?
Confederacy? Not right now.
Anyway, you can buy things like environmental suits and other fun items from the dilithium store.
Sorry, I'm trying to do things the normal way and it's not working. I need to go in here. There we go.
It doesn't help that we're being distracted by snowmen and what else.
Yeah, but still. So actually, since it was brought up, I'll show it once it's done cooling down here for these. For tribbles, because I'm on Klingon's side, I smell of Klingon, and normal tribbles do this when you try to pet them. You can still pet them, but they freak out when you pull them out.
Friendly and friendly Epos!
However, hopefully with the Nukara tribble here... Yes. Oh, he's a good tribble.
Oh yeah, the Nukara Tribble, and that really does not a lot for you.
Mm.
It's an evil
Plus 10
tribble.
environmental damage resist.
It's
Do I
evil.
have any of my specialty triples on me? No, I do not.
More than what my normal tribble does for me, apparently. So I'll take what I can
Hey, I
get.
got another tribble.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. And giving.
Yeah, because I've already got one equipped.
Yep.
I have a third tribble.
The fun thing about tribbles is they actually work like tribbles do in the Star Trek universe. If you leave a tribble in your inventory,
Wait
and you
a
leave
second.
food in inventory,
Don't you want
at
an
some
Epo
point during the
friend?
game, you'll look at your inventory, and instead of having a tribble and food, you will have 2 tribbles.
I think I just found out I have something else here. Just a
It
moment.
also depends on what the tribbles eat that can, make different types of tribbles. You can
Mhm.
breed different types of tribbles to make like a tertiary set. There's
Yes.
rare tribbles. I think
I have-
there's-
I actually spent a series of months doing tribble breeding. My friend from Australia thought I'd gone insane.
Oh, I have another free tribble. What's this one? Season 8 tribble reward.
What? How do you get these?
Saline tribble. Saline? I just went to, personal underneath the Zen store.
Personnel?
And,
Yeah, I've got the Saline tribble too.
anything else I have in here?
Flame! Sweet!
Oh, that's... Yeah,
want the tribble.
sweetness! Everyone wants their tribbles now.
Alright,
For claiming our
Epo's
it says
adorable.
Season 8 trouble, yes.
Oh,
My
I need to be in
tribble.
combat. Okay, so I found out that I have something else in my inventory, but apparently it's a combat-only thing, so I will summon that if we get a chance to later.
Oh
Yes,
my
apparently
gosh.
I got some more tribbles that I could actually afford to buy one more tribble.
Well, let's see. Trouble of Borg is fun.
What does that do? I was looking at that. Just for the sake that's a Borg
It's one of the earliest tribbles.
Fluidic space tribble. Golden tribble. Tribble of Borg. There we go. It's a Borg assimilated tribble.
Yes, yes it is. I can't remember what it does though.
Alright,
Yeah,
Epo's
neither do I.
adorable.
What the hell's a golden tribble?
Golden.
Golden tribble. It's gold with little blue highlights.
Because I've got a golden
It does-
tribble.
Does not give buffs to Klingon characters though.
Oh, bogus.
And then there's the Idic tribble, which
Yep.
I think...
I think that's the one I just claimed.
Golden
The edit-
tribble provides a bonus to damage resistance, damage, and regeneration.
No, it's
Regeneration.
a Ikara tribble is what I have. Never mind.
And then, yeah, there's the Fluidic space tribble. And then the Season 8 tribble and the Nukara tribble. And those are all unique tribbles that you either have to get by being in the game at a certain time, beta testing on their test server
Q
at a
loves
certain time,
all the little creatures.
and
Even
the rest
you.
of the tribbles are either common tribbles, which you can get as just random, hey, look, I found a tribble,
Kinda
or
fine.
by a series of, like I said, breeding. try to
Breeding
make-
of certain foods, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can even have a carnivorous tribble.
Yes, you can. Cannibal tribble, as I think of it, which basically helps keep your tribble population down by eating any tribbles weaker than itself. But the thing is, it doesn't really save you inventory, because then you wind up with a bunch of tribble corpses in your inventory, which Klingon characters can actually cook.
Yeah, you can cook up the tribble corpses, feed the tribble,
Alright,
feed the
Epo's
cooked
adorable.
tribble corpses to a tribble, and turn that tribble into a cannibal.
Cannibal tribble.
Yep. It's a
It's a
cycle
never-
of
it's a-
life.
Yes, it's a never-ending cycle of death.
Whack the tribble with a hammer and deep fry it.
Essentially, yes. It's a fun little mini game that many people like to play.
Captain, I just looked up tribbles, and apparently, from what I understand of this wiki post, we're supposed to deep fry them.
Oh, I did forget to mention a voice actor that returned for Delta Rising. Or did I mention that? We actually, this is our second take. No, I think that's the thing. I didn't mention the fact that the thing about Delta Rising is the fact that it got a
Alright,
bunch
Epo's
of the original voice
adorable.
actors from Star Trek Voyager back into the game. The main two that you deal with all the time are Tim Russ, who returned as Tuvok. Garrett Wang, who played Ensign Harry Kim in Voyager, returns as Captain Kim. But we also get to deal with Ethan Phillips, who played Neelix, the Talaxian in the original series. Jerry Ryan, who played the liberated Borg 7 of 9. And we also get to talk to Robert Picardo, who does the holographic Doctor in Star Trek Voyager. All of which return as their characters for various missions within the Season 9 plot chain. And I believe Neelix is actually here. I believe he's over by the pie table.
I think so. I
The
might have
pie
heard it earlier, I
tasting
think.
table.
Neelix has been
Don't you
declared the
want an
official
Epo
chef for the
friend?
Q's winter event this year, much to the displeasure of the stomachs of many a Starfleet officer.
Just because you can't stomach it, human.
Alright.
Does Neelix actually say anything when you talk to him?
I don't know, let's go over and talk to him.
Ugh.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, there's Neelix right there.
Let's make a tasty treat together.
He's talking and nothing's coming out of his mouth.
Maybe for you. He's talking to me.
That's because I have my...
Happy holidays! Q has charged
Yeah, he does
me
talk to you,
discover
and I
new
think he also
foods,
does make some noises
combine
even when you're not talking
spices
to
and
him.
strange new
Yes, he
foods,
does.
And to boldly bake what no one has baked before.
So yeah,
If you bring me a
he's very
recipe from
vocal.
the Winter Invasion,
Yep, and
I'll
it's all
send
Ethan
you to
Phillips,
collect the ingredients.
which
Bring
is
them
kind of
back to
nice.
me, and I'll reward you handsomely.
And
Do you have a
Q is
delightful
a
treat to
regular
try?
for most of the Starfleet event. I notice Q's friendly customer service vendor is a mini Q,
Yeah. Mini Q!
which one of the anniversary events is that all the mini Qs try to rebel from Q proper. And you have
Enough
to...
of you, Q.
Mini Qs.
Yep.
You can never
Q-
have too many Qs, right?
Q in this is at least Q Junior, as he's sometimes referred to, is a lot more playful than his John Delancey father, who tends to be a little more malicious. He's a lot more benign.
Trying to remember the walk emote. So you go backslash plus walk, and that toggles your walk on.
Backslash or slash?
Backslash, I believe. Like, as it, or maybe it's
Ba-
forward. Maybe it's forward slash. As if you were typing an emote, and then go plus.
That's slash.
Yeah, slash or whatever.
Slash plus, that's it.
Or plus, slash,
Slash,
plus,
slash, the plus symbol, and walk, all
And
is
walk.
one thing.
yeah.
I just entered it, it did nothing.
Try moving.
Oh, okay.
Yay! We've learned to walk, which is apparently surprisingly a little bit harder than other times.
Well, yeah, I mean, Anarchy Online has a button that does it for you.
That's the way they allow
And
you
that-
to do it too, but apparently there's a typing emote for it.
Yeah, because there's no assigned button for walk in,
And the
Yes,
keybinds unless
yeah.
you put something there, I assume.
I couldn't keybind anything. I tried,
I wasn't trying to keybind anything yet, I just happened to see that as empty.
clicking on it, it didn't do anything. Maybe I wasn't clicking on it right. Eh.
But, yeah, we're here, like we mentioned, during the event Q's Winter Wonderland, which is essentially their Christmas event. It reminds me very much of the ski chalet from City of Heroes back when that was running. By the way, rumor has it that that possibly could start up again, but, you know, that's unverified rumors at this point.
So far,
Oh.
yes.
We do know that it's going to be an absolute dead issue by the time Windows 10, I guess, hits.
That's not necessarily true. As long as they can update it if they want to update it.
No, it's a sheer code version incompatibility.
Assimilated
The
snowmen are
core
approaching
engine
the gate
that
to the
City
Winter
of Heroes
Wonderland.
runs on
They will arrive in 1 minute.
is going to be incompatible with Windows 10.
I would still argue that remains to be seen. We don't even have Windows 9 yet, dude.
There is not going to be a Windows 9. Microsoft has skipped 9 and is going straight to 10.
Oh, so they're trying to make the even numbers not suck now. Hopefully, crossing fingers.
We'll see how
Because
it
it's been
goes.
the odd numbered ones that normally don't suck. Windows 95, 98 expansion, which was still technically an odd number. 2000 sucked. when XP rocked the world for a while. ME sucked. Windows 7 rocked. Windows 8 sucks.
Tell me something. Come here and take a look at these snowmen. Does this look like something Calvin would set up from Calvin and Hobbes?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was some of their inspiration. Fantastic.
I just saw that, and all I could remember is Calvin's snowmen.
The parents walking across front lawns looking at all the snowmen kids have made. All of a sudden they walk in front of their house and you see a two-headed monster ripping somebody apart. You can always tell when we reach our house, can't you? Yep. Oh no, is this gonna be another snowball fight?
Yeah, last time it was water balloons.
Yeah, I get the feeling this is gonna be another fight again.
It's
I
not
told
letting
you
me
to
collect
take-
snowballs. Oh wait.
I told you to collect the snowballs. There we go.
Wait.
Wait.
Yeah, all my
wait.
snowballs melted before.
It's not letting me take them. It says I found, but okay. fine.
Put them in your. If they're in your inventory, you can. What do you call it? Equip them.
Equip them as a device.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about picking up more. Oi. And where'd they go? I equipped them.
They're on your second bar, actually.
That's annoying because I had a completely nice and empty bar on the front here.
Boop. Boop.
Oi!
Take that, you big lummox. Ow.
Take that, you puny human!
I'm done walking now.
How do you turn it off?
Minus instead of plus. No. Boop.
Puny humans!
Ah, damn it. Don't hit me in the tezzies.
There are some
Shall hit you in the
snowballs.
shammies.
There are some snowballs that slow your movement, actually. I'm standing in complete. Oh, good. I found it. I can't get up. Oh man, that thing was running fast. I like how you can like run and then all of a sudden it's just like It's very slippery around here is what I meant to say.
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
God, if only Kirk dealt with his enemies this way. Da 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 da.
So should we
Oh hey, new guy. Hi, target. Faster.
We are terrible. What's over here? Anyway, what we were talking about the game actually, and then we started playing the game.
Hey, snowball fight.
Ooh,
He started shooting beams at me, so I'm gonna throw snowballs
what
at him.
Anyway,
Device.
Delta Rising. Ha, take
Snowmen are
that.
coming down Crimson Cube and blue lozenge lanes.
Took the benefit. Wow, why is he throwing multicolored
Oh, here's
snowballs?
the crimson cube. Oh god, I'm out of here. I don't know how to fight these things. They're snowmen. It's not like I have laser beam rifles or anything like that.
Yeah, actually, they're all grayed out. You can't use them in the Winter Wonderland zone.
Yeah.
You gotta throw snowballs at them.
Throwing snowballs at him, and he's not going down.
Yep, that's how you get rid of the bad guys. You throw snowballs at them.
Where did everybody go? Everybody left
I'm
me.
over here.
I'm gonna go eat worms.
I'm trying to find Erin. I have no idea
I'm
where
over
Erin
here.
went. Here does not give
I'm
me a look.
next to Matt. I'm standing right next to Matt, specifically.
Ah,
I went up by Crimson Cube, actually. Which is what's behind here. Remember, I was like, hey, what's over here?
Just walking in. Okay, so everyone's
Watch
running
my
without.
legs stiffly run.
There we go.
Ice Wave. Season 6.
Wave 6.
Wave 6. Oh, there's the gingerbread man.
Snowmen
Yes.
are coming down.
Yes,
Gold
that's
Sphere
right,
and
they're
Blue
snow
Lozenge
Borgs.
lanes.
Oh, I think they're done. Wait, are they done over here? No.
Snowmen are coming down Black Diamond, Gold Sphere, and Blue Lozenge lanes.
I don't understand. I mean, I think we're in the wrong...
Basically, the balls at the top represent lanes, and their snowmen are coming
Black
down
Diamond,
these
Gold
lanes.
Sphere, and Blue Lozenge lanes.
They're laning.
Ah! I found some. Yes, they are. They're assimilated snowmen.
Yes, they're Borg Snowmen.
That's awesome.
This is the lanes that they're talking about.
Snowmen are coming down all 4 lanes.
Holy smokes!
Man.
Ah!
Oh my god. He is huge.
They've got company.
I try my hardest.
Ah! I've been frozen. It hurts so bad.
Snowmen are coming down Black Diamond, Crimson Cube, and Blue Lozenge
Oh god,
lanes.
no!
I'm trying to help them off as best I can. We don't have enough men. Ah!
We need more snowballs.
Balls, no!
Snowmen are coming down
Have
all
them
4
frozen
lanes.
today.
Matt, you're looking chilly.
Well, he's a lizard. What do you expect? They don't
Oh,
take
God.
too well to being frozen.
Snowmen are coming down all 4 lanes.
I'm about to run out of snowballs. Yeah, apparently
There's
the
like a
guns
whole
are
pile
for this
over here.
game. Oh. Got some beats for getting involved.
Yay! Ah,
Kill the big one.
okay.
Everybody's literally here now because we're all trying to
Snowmen are
defend.
coming down Crimson Cube, Gold Sphere, and Blue Lozenge
Okay, I need to get
lanes.
back out of here because I'm about ready to run out of snowballs.
I just got like a ton of... Oh!
And I'm skidding and sliding as I try to get out of here, too.
Yeah.
Snowmen are coming down all
Airborne
4
snowmen.
lanes.
Airborne
What?
snowman? Where?
I don't know. I saw it come up as I was tab targeting.
Oh my god, yeah, they're coming down with like
Snowmen are
parachutes or
coming
something,
down
like
all 4
paratroopers.
lanes.
Are they? Oh.
They're crazy.
Oh, I see them. Oh,
I regret I have but one life to live for my snow fort.
Take that. Take that, you villainous fiends. You know, I forgot to set a timer for our podcast. Resistance. Oh god.
Snowmen are
Well,
coming down all
we'll be
4
just
lanes.
working around this a little bit. I'm sure we'll be trimming some
Yeah.
of this.
Not all of it though.
Oh, not all of it, no, but we're going to be trimming some of it out. Because we've completely derailed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this
Snowmen are
is
coming down
interesting.
Crimson Cube, Gold
This is
Sphere,
interesting.
and
I hadn't
Blue
done
Lozenge
this before.
lanes.
Which is something to bring up when we get done with this. Oh, hey. Candles and another ornament.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got a holiday ornament, Andorian sleigh bells, and Vulcan meditation incense.
So anyway, so since that's done, let's bring up a note here on that. You call this actually interesting, and yes, it was interesting. Here's the problem. A lot of this game isn't interesting.
I beg to differ.
I find it all very samey a lot of the time.
You say it, but you know, I find
You
that
go to
I
the
find the
planets,
same
you
thing.
travel around, you go to the ground place where you really don't care to be. You fight people on foot, you come back to your ship, fight some more things, and then you leave. That's pretty much the majority of the game, every mission.
Yeah, but you know, you look at most MMOs, it's kill X of this, fetch X of this for this. So, you know, there's a lot of same in a lot of MMOs.
It does kind of bounce you around. It is kind of reliable. You do a space mission. You go down to the ground, complete the objectives there.
And then you go back into
And then-
space and have another fight again.
Yeah, but it's
It
reliable.
literally happens every time. I think out of the like 10 or more missions we've done since we started this up again, I think only maybe 3 or 4 have ever deviated away out of that out of 10.
Yeah, and I'll admit that especially the early missions do suffer from that. A lot of the content that they've added though since then does tend to differ a bit from that particular methodology.
Yes, but how long does it take to get there, though, is the question. Because if it's going to take longer than, say, 10 levels, it's already taking too long. For a lot of people. I'm
Yeah,
not
but
just...
you see, that's my problem though with a lot of MMOs, is you get into that grind where it is all the same shit, different map. It is what eventually got on my nerves about Rift.
that quickly got on my nerves on Rift. And I will say that while you do repeat things, it depends upon how they do use the mechanics in order to repeat things, too. And I will say that while it's fun at first, after, say, half an hour or an hour, Star Trek, it can get very samey to the point that you want to quit for a while.
Well, that's because you're gaming it and you're not really paying attention to the plot. You see, that is what sucked me in to
See,
this.
I did
was
pay attention to the
story.
plot, and it started getting boring. Because we're just sitting around being the local head guy's pet. For whatever.
And that's kind of, there's a military reason for that. We're fairly low on the totem pole in the military. Or at least in Starfleet. We're still just starting out. I know in the revamp, we should probably discuss the revamp of the Federation area. Because the tutorial I went through involved a lot of Borg, and that wasn't the case with the tutorial for this most recent character that I'm on.
Yeah, originally it was the first tutorial that came out for the game, as far as I'm remembering. Mind you, I didn't join this game until their first revamp, which they revamped the ground combat system. It used to be a lot worse than it was.
Where'd you guys go, by the way?
I'm climbing the mountain for no other reason than it's there. We should meet up someplace.
I'm trying to do that as well, and I'm almost there. I think I should probably try running. Yes, running helps.
Yeah, running helps, jumping helps.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm breaking it, I'm almost there. Oh man, I'm like a few feet away from the summit. Oh no!
Are you guys up there? All the way up there? Oh.
Ouch.
I tried and I couldn't get up there.
Yeah, I think that's why we started trying it.
Yeah, I think that's you kind of started us on that tangent, and I'm the king of the mountain, by the way.
Me.
Okay, I'm gonna
Too
try.
bad you don't get an achievement for more exploration. Like, this game...
This should be a game that should be based around exploration, not mission grinding. Is another thing. Haha! I'm taller. 3, 2, 1,
there you
jump.
guys are. Me!
Hello down there!
Damn it!
Hello down there!
I slid down into a tree. It did not break
Oh,
my
I did that
leg.
like 5 times.
I am the highest ranking one on the mountain. Ha! Worship the pips. Worship them!
The pips. The pips don't lie. Watch me
That I'm a
jump
frickin'
stiffly.
fleet admiral.
Woo,
Screw
woo,
you.
woo, woo.
Because once again, I will reiterate, screwing around has been more fun than trying to grind the missions. And by the way, I pay attention
there
to,
we go.
especially with playing a Gorn, I've been paying attention to the blight. It's still kind of getting to the point where it's like, do I have to keep following this guy again?
My one problem with the Klingon missions, and I will admit this because I have actually done a good chunk of the Klingon missions, is that each individual mission drags on and on and on and on. They're segmented, but, you know, the point that the mission ends and you turn it in for a reward is so far distant that it really kind of feels like, Jesus, are we done yet? And I think the Romulan missions are the same way. I've also noticed that the Endgame Federation missions, while being less of the formula, have gotten longer too. Which is at the same time good, but I think in some cases they go too far.
Alright, what about the classes? Do you guys have a preferred class or something?
Classes are classes. They're pretty much the same as they always were. There's the science, the tech, and the engineer.
Yeah, science, tactical, and engineering, they're pretty much the trinity that you find in every MMO.
Yeah, well, they are, but, you know, if playing a class depends on what you want to do with your design. Engineers tend to be the tech heads. Ground combat, they have several different methods that they can use. They can become turret combats, like I use, or they can become the debuff support class. Sciences can be the healers or also the debuffers. And tactical tend to be your ground explosive AoE weaponry, melee specialty, etc. Ship to ship combat, it's interesting. Engineers tend to be your best tanks because they get a lot of clicky heals to your ship. Tactical tends to be your more offensive striker, kind of your scrapper class.
DPS?
DPS, specialty stuff. Science tends to use off and debuff and hold style weaponry.
So they're kind of controller. I also notice they also tend to pretty much be the healer class too, aren't they?
On ground combat,
yes.
Not necessarily in space combat.
Not necessarily in space. That would tend to be more the engineer's style in space.
Yes.
Because they're definitely on the shields and getting things repaired quickly.
Likewise, the type of ships recommended, but not always what you're going to take, tends to be, for engineers, they tend to command cruisers, which are the big heavy ships with big decent hull, but, you know, moderate damage. Tactical tends to command the striker, fast, high turn rate, front arc firing ships, kind of like the Defiant, and that style of ship, the tactical escorts, as they refer to them. And your science gets science vessels, which usually has a lot of specialty weaponry. I've done some interesting things with science ships. I've turned some into torpedo boats and mine ships. Matt is fond of the mines for combat, I've noticed.
Oh yeah, the mines were pretty fun yesterday.
Um,
And they also have a nice quick cooldown too, so they come out almost as often, if not it's slightly less often than a torpedo.
One of the things that I do think is a missed opportunity for STO is they should have missions more based on the profession track.
That should be something they should do more often. Yes. That would make things a lot more interesting per character pick as well.
Science would get more explory missions. Whereas tactical would get more combat-y missions, and engineer would get a mix of the two. That would make a lot more sense to me than the way they did it, and that's the way that, you know, Starfleet would actually assign their ships. You know, oh, this guy's commanding a science vessel. Well, we'll send him off to go look at this.
This game really is pretty much about the ships, isn't it?
It's mostly the ship combat. The ground combat, I think, was added in as an afterthought originally.
To add more of the MMO feel, I would assume.
It does disappoint me that the game is not more controller friendly than it is. Especially
they-
the ground combat. You could have thought that they could have stolen Champion Online's controller schema.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I would also argue that a lot of MMO players don't normally use controllers either. So
Well,
maybe
originally
they
this
thought
game had
that.
been intended for release for Xbox and PlayStation,
Well, they're also
and
planning to do
then
that
that got
with
scrapped.
they're planning to do that with Neverwinter, but I still don't see them actually saying that they're going to make controllers accessible either.
Yeah.
See.
And that,
And
that was
So-
also the original plan for Champions as well, and then that plan got scrapped for the Xbox 360.
It does disappoint me because it kind of makes me feel like some of Neverwinter or some of Cryptic's development is going backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned that in the last podcast. I am still of that opinion. The ground combat system, they could have basically just taken Champion Online's ground system, added weaponry, and made it work. And instead, what came out and release was super clunky. And this one, while better, is still clunky.
Very clunky. Also, speaking of development, and since this game has been getting upgrades, one of the things that interests me the most, of course, is usually character generation, and I have to say, they have been doing nothing with it. Except for maybe adding a few outfits here or there, they've done jack all.
Yeah, there is a wish for me that they'd have a better detailed character generation system.
Not just more detailed, I mean, like, for instance, we agreed upon this earlier too, hairstyles.
Yeah,
Oh my God, these things are terrible.
yeah, it is. That is a matter of personal fury for me. I'm fond of a particular species called the Kaishans, the big cat people.
Mhm.
If people know I'm a cat person, I was really
Oh,
fond
all three
of
of us
Star.
are cats here.
I'm really fond of Star Trek: The Animated Series, the animated filmation series from the '70s. One of the main characters in there is a character called Lieutenant Emress. Um, and she was the first Kaishan that we ever saw, and she has this huge, long, hair-like mane in the series, which is not a hair option for Kaishans in the character generation. What the fuck?
Yeah, and yeah, if you look at my Gorn here, I have the eye protectors the same as the original Gorn had. So, the hell.
Oh shit, no! God, don't go tumbling off of the side of the mountain here. I'm trying to get a close-up of Matt.
Aaron lunged right off the ledge.
I'm trying to get a close-up of Matt. There we go.
I can
There
get
we go. Right in the shot.
But yeah,
And-
look, you can see the eye covers. They're very obvious, and that's actually what the eyes kind of looked like in the original Gorn. Apparently, they didn't have them at first when they made the Gorn for this game, but recently, while I was making my Gorn, I'm flipping through things. I'm like, wait, that one's got eye coverings. How's that possible? Go through some of the options. Oh, it's eye protectors. Oh, okay.
But as of parts, they cover the majority of what you do see in Star Trek races. I know there's a few websites out there that show various Star Trek races and what parts and sliders to use to make them.
Mm-hmm.
I know
That's
Bob
it.
had a fairly convincing Cardassian that he made using that. That was his kind of key character that when he was playing it.
Hmm.
I tend to go for human and humanoid species, so that doesn't bother me so much. But I would like a few more hairstyles.
Yeah. I'm someone who favors long hair.
Yeah, and there's not many long hair options.
No, there are very few long hair options. They are dreadfully awful on.
And I understand some of it because long hair over a certain length is not regulation.
Still.
Neither are some of the costumes they offer, though, but they still offer them.
Yeah, but you know, even if you're in an out duty outfit, you're not going to be letting your hair grow down to your butt.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. But there could have been a few more long hair styles that were regulation. And like I said, Kaishans had long hair, and they have nothing but short hair in this, which is kind of annoying. And I would like a few more short hair styles. And it's, something that, could have easily been addressed, and they haven't really done it. Because most of their development time was moved over to Neverwinter, which has been their big baby for a while.
And yet that game still feels somewhat underdeveloped.
Yeah, it feels uncooked. And especially with the end game bullshit.
Yeah, and I blame that solely on Perfect World for buying Cryptic and basically saying we'll basically run it as is with minimal development. And most of the development
What's
effort...
that? More time? That means more money. Just ship it out.
Yeah, and all of the focus on the games have been on new content to keep players playing. And at some point, I'm happy about this because it gives me more to do as somebody who basically goes out and eats the content for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And the content that they are releasing is wonderful. The storyline in Star Trek Online is great when you kind of realize what's going on. And I'm eagerly waiting for either more of Delta Rising or Season 10, whichever they decide to come out with next.
Did you want to elaborate on the storyline any further, Ren?
Okay. Well, you start out as a newbie. I'm going to be dealing solely with the Federation side of it at the moment because I'm not finished with the Klingon or the Romulan story arcs yet. You start out dealing with the Klingons. The plot line of this is that the Klingons and the Federation are currently at war. The main enemy you deal with is a Klingon by the name of Bavat, which seems to be pretty much a extreme madman. And he basically is, by the end of it, basically trying to use a doomsday machine to take out the Federation. As you've beat him, you kind of realize that there's somebody from Bavat, behind Bavat, pulling his strings, but you don't know who or what. But before you can really pay any further attention to that, you're called to the Romulan sectors to deal with the Romulans. The big problem with the Romulans is, of course, that in the events of the 2009 Star Trek movie, there was a supernova that destroyed Romulus. As you go through, you realize that the supernova was not a accident. It was engineered by the Tal Shiar, the Romulan Secret Service, who was apparently unknowingly working for somebody else. As you go through, you discover the fact that the head of the Tal Shiar had been working for something called Demons of Fire and Ice. If you know your Star Trek history, creatures called Demons of Fire and Ice were known as the Iconians. Also, a big deal is the fact that Species 8472, originally seen in the Delta Quadrant, known now as the Undine, have been shape-shifting their way and infiltrating many factions within the Federation, the Klingons, and the Romulan Star Empire. And yes, it is revealed that the Undine are working for the Iconians. By the end of it, you're then called to the Cardassian front to deal with the True Way. And I am, in a nutshell, debating this and dealing more with their stuff. Mostly that is unrelated. You get kind of touches, but by the end of it, you finally have to start dealing directly with the Undine and the Iconians. And Delta Rising has brought you to the Delta Quadrant, where you're just by means of basically a captured Iconian gateway. And there, you're basically having to create a coalition of unaligned races to fend against a hostile race called the Vaadwaur, who has unexplainably gotten a massive tech upgrade, and behind the Vanguard are, guess who? The Iconians. It's all gearing up for a massive fight between the Allied forces and the Iconians, which is probably coming up within the next in the next couple of seasons. And that's something I can't wait to see.
By the way, since we started roaming the mountains here, can I say friggin' oops?
Why?
Near where we were at the top of the peak, you can actually see over the edge of the map.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks so fakey.
Mind you, Q has basically made this entire area out of nowhere.
So we're
You're
on a
basically
giant... Yeah.
you're basically in a giant Q construct.
You could try and smoosh it with plot all you want. All I'm saying is it looks fakey.
Well, this is actually exactly how the ski chalet looked in City of Heroes, by the way.
Yeah, it is. That's another reason it reminds me of the ski chalet, but the side activities you can do here is
Well,
also
at least
like...
that was actually in the vortex, and they didn't make it look like it just suddenly stopped. It looked like it had like rocks and bits falling off of it. This doesn't. It just looks like they didn't care to do anything on the fringes.
No. Well, yeah, but then again, Q has basically made this place out of nothingness, so...
Mm.
We're on a big floating rack. There's like a sea of stars underneath us if you look, Matt.
Yeah, like I said, it just suddenly stops.
Yes, exactly. That's kind of what Randy's getting to.
Yeah, Q's not bothering to create little side details like that.
He doesn't
I'm
care as much
saying it
as...
would still look nice because it would look more realistic, but okay, whatever.
The non-realistic of it is the point, Matt.
Mm. You're saying that, and yet we're talking about Star Trek, which is devoted to realism in its own science-fictional way.
Except you're dealing with the world according to Q, who is an omnipotent, godlike being.
Had a lot of those, didn't we?
The original series was filled with them.
I wish you could just jump off the edge here. And just kind of float around. Or keep falling and land in, like, land in the gazebo again. That would be fun.
That would have been a lot more interesting, especially considering invisible walls. Invisible walls, no matter what the game is, even on MMOs, they drive me crazy. Either make a wall or just don't do it.
Yeah, they bother me too.
Especially with a game that, what do you call it? That really emphasizes exploration.
Yeah,
here
exploration.
it doesn't bother me so much in some areas, because when you're on a landing party mission, you're supposed to stay within a certain area of effect. You know, you're supposed to stay within the general beam down area, so you can be easily retrieved.
I rule all
But
the
I wish they could have done it by having a warning zone instead of hitting directly the wall. You know.
Where'd you go, by the way, Randy? Because I can't see.
I'm back at the chalet now.
Oh. You just kind of ran off of us.
I'm going over to the giant snowman.
Yeah, we're gonna watch some giant snowman killing.
Assuming I can get over there by the time. This might actually be a special episode, by the way. There we go. Remember the special we did on Frostbluff? This would be kind of similar.
The problem just ran down.
You know, the thing is, I've never actually done an STO Christmas before. I always manage to miss this event by so much.
Well, we've done Frostbluff, we've done the ski chalet, and now we've done Q's Winter Wonderland. We've actually done more... Ah, sweet.
I think we've done more Christmas episodes than any other kind of episode.
Well, that's because almost every MMO has something they do for Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's usually fairly elaborate. Not everybody does Halloween. And of course, Thanksgiving is a US-only holiday, so it doesn't make sense to do that. And again, Easter is largely a religious holiday.
I believe WoW does some Thanksgiving stuff, but they've got a lot of people playing it in the US. And I think maybe the Harvestmas Festival counts for Thanksgiving too for Lord of the Rings Online.
All right. Well, let's head back into the chalet. Or
Mm-hmm.
the, not the chalet. Excuse me. The pavilion. I'm trying to.
Bring
I'm,
phaser to a snowball
Snowmen
fight.
with ridges.
Suck my ridges.
oh,
What?
you wanted the exchange, Matt?
It's right here.
Q's friendly customer service will allow you to check out the exchange.
Yeah.
I thought so.
By the way,
I
I'm
did
getting
not.
like
I did not realize that.
Where is it? Check out the market.
Check
Yeah,
out the
check out the
market.
market.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm getting like 30 frames per second down to 25.
Epos! Cuddly and friendly Epos!
Oh god, the Epo lady again.
Yeah, that's why we left this area.
Yeah, I wanted to take a look at the holiday vendor. Oh, I can buy unmelting snowballs.
Yeah.
Tribbles.
No, I mean I actually have enough to buy unmelting snowballs. I can also buy a scarf.
Regular tribbles, regular tribbles, regular tribbles.
Everything here is still too rich for my blood.
Peace is good for business.
Where's my money, by the way? I don't know how much. Oh, it's all credits.
Yeah, if you click on your inventory, you go to assets. Your energy credits are listed at the top. I'm actually damn near broke.
0.000.
Yeah, I've noticed the Klingon side is very stingy when it comes to energy credits.
When you jump into your ship, you can fly through the galaxy and wind up in areas where there's like instances of enemies on your way to different systems.
Yes, there are encounter zones that you can basically go in for joint
Epos!
combat.
Cuddly and friendly Epos!
You can see those when you fly there, orange marked areas that's marked enemy. And occasionally the Borg will attack the sector block you're in.
Okay.
And you can choose to join in the fight to fend off the Borg. Matt was in one of those yesterday. He didn't enjoy it.
Oh no, I was getting quite annoyed with it.
I was actually just going to ask you guys how that all went.
Randy likes it, but then again, Randy likes just about anything from this game, to be honest.
I'm very fond of this game, but I will admit that the big thing about those is that they trump you up to level 44, I believe, the Admiralty level, to fight in those. But you're still basically, if you're under level, you're basically still using your Mark II, Mark III equipment. So you're going to invariably get stomped
you
unless
want
you've
an
got some
Epo
other
friend?
people of a high enough level in there doing the fight with you. I wanted to do it just because it was a bonus XP zone, and I wanted to get a little extra XP. I was hoping to hit level 10. This was not on this character. This was on the side character. I didn't quite make my goal.
And I just got constantly curb stomped for doing anything, so it was not a pleasant experience for me at all for even a moment.
Yeah, you guys were fighting a cube, I believe, right?
We fought a couple cubes, and then the big giant cyber dick of oh hell no came out of nowhere
Epo's
and just
adorable.
obliterated us.
Those energy balls, by the way, will still one-shot me at level 60. But you've got to basically target them and blast the crap out of them for you to survive.
And I really wouldn't see them until they're already hitting me, so I'm screwed either way.
Oh, that sounds like you weren't paying attention to what's going on around you.
I was just trying to attack the enemy, and I was looking right where they came from half the time, and I still wouldn't see them until it's ready to nuke me already. There's no getting out of there because my ship isn't fast enough.
The emergency speed, the emergency maneuvers will delay it by usually enough that you can target and fire it.
For me, I didn't even have enough chance to even push the button before I'm dead.
I don't know. I wasn't having any problems, and I was in a tier 1 ship too. That's something that we should also.
Ship though as well.
What's that?
You're also in a paid ship, aren't you?
Yeah, but to be honest, the paid ships aren't that much better.
I'd argue with that, but that's another story. That'll go on forever.
Oh, go ahead. Argue it. Argue it. I want you to argue it.
Well, the thing is that it's still gonna have better stats than anything else I get, because I still get tiny little dinky piece of junk. Just
Trust me, mine isn't that better.
what does it do? What makes it not that much better? Because I'm certain that there's gotta be some reason they want you to pay for it to begin
Oh
with.
yeah, because you actually get a. It has one. I think one more. I think it's one more engineering device slot, and it has specialty phasers that upgrade as you level.
See, that's
That's
probably why. That's probably why the phaser's right there. That's why you're at least able to.
The thing
nuke
is,
half
at
things
level
you
8,
saw.
they're still basically level 2 phasers. They're no better than yours.
Mhm.
The thing is, once I hit level 10, they'd become level 3 phasers. But at level 8, no.
Yeah, it's still, you get a heck of a lot more out of that than I ever will with my normal ship.
I think that was actually the lack of difference for the ship upgrades was actually another one of my selling points. So I'm gonna very much argue with you on that.
To each their own opinion, apparently, because that's pretty much where that's going to end up. Because there's going to be a lot of people that just go,
What?
because you're still getting extra stuff that you can't get otherwise.
Yes, but it's negligible. It's not the over the top pay to win that most games have.
I don't know. I'm able.
As far as I'm aware, the hull is no bigger than a non-paid ship. I don't believe the turn rate or the speed modifiers are any different. You might get a little more subsystem power, but that's not affecting your phasers, your engines, or your shields. That's affecting the science-y stuff. And yeah, you get either special weapons or a special console, which is basically candy to buy you, but really isn't going to provide that much of a bonus.
Anyway, we don't want to linger too long on that either. I think
Yeah.
we've set our pieces on that, and we're going to have to agree to disagree on that, because I'm sure there are people that would kind of shake their heads at that too, still.
Well then, what is the alternative? If they gave you a ship with the exact same stats and everything the exact same as buy, why would you want to buy one at all?
Well, that's just it. You're still paying to get some enhancements out of it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is compared to other games where their buy to win is literally buy and I will kick your ass with this item, these upgrades are negligibly smaller.
So there's still something that the player has to contribute. It's not just do you have to enhance you have to dump points into skills or something like that to really getting real payoff out of them, or
It's to get the payoff out of this.
yeah.
No, it's mostly like I said, it's mostly these small little bonuses that's you're paying for, not over the top uber powered. The difference for how you win at PvP is how you configure your ship and how you've adjusted your skill points, and those aren't paid for.
Oh god, you were quiet for so long. Going
I'm
over
just
here.
exploring this area. I was like, what's over here? Oh, nothing. Damn it.
More people talking.
Now,
It's full
I'll
of
admit
positive
the
NPCs.
rewards for this event, they want you to get 1,000 pictures of Q, because yes, he still has an ego, to buy your own ship, or to buy a specialty ship. You want 1,000 autographed pictures. You can earn 40 a day by doing this impossibly stupidly hard race. And then you have to win the race every day for like 22, 23 days of a 25-day event.
Yeah, not happening.
Yeah,
That's quite annoying.
Now, a lot of the events that they have, I actually prefer. Because they're really nice little, hey, look, the mirror universe is invading. You open your PvE queue, you do the event, you get an item. You turn in the item. When you have enough of the item, which is usually like 2/3 of the day, you get a bunch of bonus stuff, a bunch of bonus dilithium, and then for the follow-up days, you can turn in one every day and get a smaller pack of bonus gear, of bonus niceties. That's a nice little thing I like for those kind of events.
And it's just kind of keeping your wits about you too. Like with Neverwinter, you had to, you know, if you were interested in the rewards for their events, you knew about the event ahead of time, and you went and looked up what you were going to aim for.
And here it's a lot more basic, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's get item will get you bonus pack. This is, I think, the pioneer of their minion system, which you've seen in Neverwinter. They refer to it as the duty officer system, where you basically can get a bunch of officers to do various missions that get you bonus stuff.
This actually seems a little bit more detailed than that, though. The minions in, what do you call it? In Neverwinter they didn't really have skills that you leveled up, did they?
Well,
I
minions...
mean, they leveled up on their own, but, like, these you actually have to dump skill points into, don't you?
No, I'm not talking about your bridge officers. I'm talking about duty officers.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you've gotten as far. I think it's like level 12 or something that they introduce you to the duty officer system.
Oh, okay.
My ship currently has 227 rostered officers. I can have a max of 325 at the moment. I think I can expand that another 75 to have a total of 400 officers on my ship. And they can do various things, various assignments offered in the map window and personal stuff. There's science, engineering, medical, development, colonial, exploration, espionage, and I believe tactical has its own area too. Various missions under these things that you do, that you get XP, and sometimes you get stuff, and usually dilithium as well. And these missions are, you basically select a mission, select the officers to do this mission, and then in X amount of time it's done, and there's various degrees of success based on the quality of the officers you sent, the difficulty of the mission, and a level of random dice rolling in the background.
I'm running around on the racetrack just for the lulls of it right now, by the way.
That's kind of what I'm doing, too. Now, is there a, what do you call it? Is there a system like Sword Coast Adventures at all in place, or is
Not yet. The gateway for STO is still in beta and really doesn't have anything other than status checking. You can't even upgrade your duty officers by the gateway yet. They've been promising it, but it keeps getting backburnered. So I don't know when we'll see that level of functionality. I'm really hoping for it. They've also updated their R&D system to make it more compatible with the duty officer system. So now when you're researching and developing and getting equipment to make stuff, you do it via the duty officers rather than by going to an area and crafting, like, you know, the traditional method. And unlike Neverwinter, you don't have to get custom duty officers in Well, actually, you do. Come to think of it, the thing is, it doesn't. You can sell those on the open market, and it costs energy credits and not dilithium to get it. And there's 1,000 other ways to get the various grades of officers.
There's Erin. I see her now.
I believe officers at this point range from your common, your white officers, through your green, uncommon officers, your blue, rare officers, your purple, very rare, violet, ultra rare, and I believe there are a few epic duty officers now. I believe I have one.
Oh. Is there anything else we wanted to cover?
We covered the website a little bit and the fact that it now kind of plays into the game a little bit more. Research and development. Is there anything else, anything further on crafting or storyline? The classes are all your basic tanking, DPS, and somewhat healing or debuffing, if you want to look at it that way too.
Yeah, I mentioned a lot of that when I mentioned the classes. In addition, like I mentioned, there's Federation, Klingon, and Romulans, and they all have different mission arcs leading up to the endgame stuff, which is all kind of merged into one massive thing.
By the way, just got an accolade for finding all the snowmen in the area.
By the way, petting my triple gives me Nukara points?
Every hour, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, do you know what those are?
No, not a clue.
Okay, those are reputation points.
Oh.
If you go to your character window and you click the reputation tab, you'll notice there is a whole bunch of different factions. There is Task Force Omega, the Nukara Strike Force, New Romulus, there's events, which is specialty events.
I see nothing but events, tier 0, Q, and it's all Q.
What?
Status, contribute.
Yeah, it's all just
info.
The Q event. That's all I'm seeing.
The far left-hand side of it.
No, I just see... What's here? Reputation.
All it says is events, tier 0.
Yeah.
Okay, you must not get the rest of those yet. Those will unlock when you hit level 50. Then. Because all of these events are 50 to 60, they're kind of bonus stuff you can earn during that point. And you basically, what it is it works like these. Actually, it works like this, the fleet system in a way. Is you can basically assign specialty missions to assign yourself, in which you have to spend basically these marks you're getting, dilithium, specialty items, energy credits, that kind of thing, to complete these assignments to gain further reputation, which gives you unlocked specialty traits and skills. For example, the Task Force Omega Tier 1, you can get a passive ability to either 10, or this is the 8472, excuse me, let me go to Task Force Omega. You get a passive skill that regenerates your hit points on the ground, or increases your energy weapon damage or melee damage on the ground. And then the Tier 2 gives you something similar for space. And these are specialty traits that you can select through the traits window once you have them.
So it's an account-wide unlock then?
No, this is character.
Oh, this is only character. You can only get it in end game?
What? Yes. But also, you can get regular traits during the course of the game. Ooh, I still have a suspended trait. Awesome. I forgot I hit level 60. But these specialty reputation traits are only available starting at level 50. Or they might become unlockable as you do the content. I'm not sure, one or the other. There's still a section for starship traits, and I can't figure out what those are for yet.
Yeah, this that's one of my things is kind of how this tends to be a little bit more complicated, especially with character building, ship building, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of little details in here, like you have your skills, which you can dump points into, and you have tactical engineering and science and operations skills, and then those are your space skills, and then you have your ground skills too on top of that.
And you still want a little bit of everything, but you can't overdo it on things that you don't need class specifically, apparently.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you want a little bit of a lot of it. With skills, there are some stuff that you might be best avoiding if you're building in a certain way. For example, what's referred to as threat control, it's called threat control, as either both a ground skill as a commander level or as a tactical in space level. Threat control is something, if you're trying to avoid having enemies target you in groups, you don't want to have any of it, because it raises your your threat rating to the enemies, making them more likely to target you than something else. If you're a carrier profession and you're basically a tank, you probably want a little bit of threat control so that the enemies target your ship rather than your fighters. So that's one that you want to invest in, whether it fits your role or not. Some other ones, like weapons
Assimilated snowmen are
training,
approaching the
etc.,
gate to the Winter
are
Wonderland.
stuff you probably want to invest in at least a little bit, regardless of what profession you are. Another one, I believe, is starship flow capacitors. That's something you're not wanting to invest in if you don't use a tachyon beam, an energy siphon, or a charged particle burst, and have no intention to. Personally, I like the tachyon beam, so I have a fair bit invested into it.
I'm watching Matt scramble over the ice right now. Scramble, Matt, scramble!
But likewise, I don't have anything invested in graviton generators because I don't use tractor beams anymore. That kind of thing. Does that make sense to you?
Whoosh over my head.
Basically,
Which is a major problem with this game too, by the way, and I will say it's also a nitpick for AO. A lot of it just can fly over your head so quickly.
Well, and it does take a little bit of finesse to kind of understand. I would recommend that you be not maybe a rabid fan of Star Trek, but a
fairly decent fan of Star Trek, and you'll probably get a lot more of it than me or Erin.
I've never really sat down and watched much of Deep Space Nine or Voyager, and I haven't really seen many of the movies beyond First Contact. I think that was the last one I saw, and it was a while ago.
And you've seen the new stuff.
I've seen the new stuff too. That was fun, but still.
Yeah, you're not missing much with Voyager, and some people would debate that, but it had a good concept, but it really had some issues with the writing.
Mm-hmm.
It became kind of hit or miss. It had some episodes that were good, but it also had some episodes which were absolutely mind-cringingly horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It had a lot higher miss ratio than its predecessor, Deep Space Nine, which had a big overarching storyline which was very snappy and very engrossing. And Voyager seemed to be a little all over the place and unsteady with the writing. It was essentially Lost in Space for the 90s, only they kept they didn't keep sticking to a writer's Bible, which was a mistake. And
Nor
Enterprise,
did they have Robbie the Robot.
Yeah, and Enterprise was just getting its stride when it got canceled. So it had 2 seasons of meh, a season where they tried to change it up by trying to do a storyline that didn't pan out, and then they had a season of awesome, but it was canceled shortly into the season of awesome and just allowed to finish its season.
That's because they wasted too much goodwill. It happens. Anything else game specific we want to cover then? I think we're running out of time.
Anyone's overall opinion, Matt?
I
Let's get to our final thoughts about this.
have to say that I'm not the biggest Star Trek fan. I can see some good highlights on this game, but a lot of it really leaves me wanting something more. It leaves leaves much to be desired, in my opinion. Some of the spaceship battles in particular can be very, very fun, but trying to get around up certain planets, especially if they're not going to list them properly, like everything else, can leave you just literally pointing at the map screen and screaming heresy at it. Also, the ground combat, while it has been fixed, still needs a heck of a lot more tweaking.
Yeah. I guess I'll go next. I guess Lost is how I feel when I play this game. I feel like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem very player friendly. They do have, and that's kind of also with Champions Online too, is that they have a lot of little, they have a lot of neat little icons that if you hover your mouse over them, they'll tell you what to do, or they'll show you what to do. But at the same time, that sometimes confuses me even more, because I have like this whole reputation up bar above my character sheet, and it's just like, okay, what does that do? Obviously it's reputation, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. And okay, what's this do? Recommendations? Okay, new ship.
I remember trying to talk to you about weapons, and we were just getting all kinds of confused.
Yeah, equipping weapons can be incredibly difficult for me. Like, we have like the little drop down section and everything where you can compare and contrast what you have, but even then they give you so much information to go off of. And some people really like that. If you like, reading through a lot of text and trying to find the best bang for your buck in weapons and armor, you might like this. But for me, it feels like there's a lot of little things kind of scattered all over the place, and I don't know.
Want more
it feels kind of busy. The interface feels busy.
Yeah, it feels busy, and you want more cohesive.
Mhm. Yeah. But on the other hand, it's I enjoy some of the combat. I do have Xpatter running, so and I've been playing with the controller using the Xpatter program as a third-party program. You turn off your joystick or I think you turn off your gamepad options, and you also reset when you're in ground combat, you reset your shooter controls so that when you right-click, you aren't automatically shooting your secondary, using your secondary attack. So that's what I did with that. Just turn that off. But yeah, it's some of the combat is enjoyable, but on the other hand, it's also kind of confusing for me. All right.
So, after playing all Cryptic games, a lot of them have all the same key flaws as each other.
Pretty much.
I do feel that Star Trek Online has minimized a lot of these flaws. Not all of them, and some of them are still present, but they're either minimized or offset by other things. I am a big fan of the Star Trek franchise. I have been since the early 80s. And I can tell you the first time I played this, I was put off by it. And this was way back in the early days. I didn't play it for 6 months to a year, and then I came back and I played it, and it felt a whole lot better to me. I have to play this game on a joystick, by the way. Trying to do the ship controls in ship combat with a keyboard and mouse actually is counterintuitive to me. But the second I broke out...
That's how they do it in the show.
Did I make comments during your final thoughts?
Okay, guys.
Anyway, but coming back, playing it with the joystick, it became natural, and at that point the plot of the game sucked me in. And I think I shot from the starting to level 50 at the time in about 3 days worth of playing. Because I just sat there and I ate every mission and I wanted to see what happened next. And I still get that feeling. I won't play it for a while and come back when there's a new season and start just going to the content, because it literally sometimes feels like a Star Trek episode to me, and I enjoy that. Again, it's not without its flaws, and it couldn't be, and there's things that could be made better. And largely, I paint the point of accusation on that at Perfect World International, or excuse me, Perfect World Entertainment, for focusing on content rather than taking a moment to take a step back, take a breath, and fix some bugs. And that is a problem indicative, by the way, with almost all Perfect World games. So, I still enjoy it. If you're a fan of Star Trek, you will enjoy this.
Yeah, it does feel very Star Trek-y. I mean, it's got the same, you know, just as Star Wars: The Old Republic to me felt like Star Wars. This Star Trek game still, it certainly feels like Star Trek.
Yeah, and as for complicated, it doesn't feel that way to me. I mean, I got the whole thing about spending skills and stuff, and they allow you to respec later, so it's not if you screw up, you can't fix it. And then once you've dealt with skills and all that, that's when they start throwing the other stuff at you. Once you can no longer buy any additional skills. So it's basically alternate leveling paths for levels 50 and higher. So that doesn't bother me. Like I said, it's like the incarnate system in a way.
Well, I guess that's it for this time. I think next time we are going to be in Rift, actually.
And there'll be you two and whoever else you can get to join you.
Yeah, Matt does not want to play Rift, so.
No, I still am bored to tears of it. I remember my feelings of it last time, and I'm like, no, not going back there.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah.
I'll admit, a lot of the early stuff in Rift is grindy. Actually, a lot of later stuff in Rift is grindy too. But that was offset to me by the amusement of them adding voice acting. And I think they're adding voice acting through more of the game now, too.
Alright, everyone. Have a good night. Or a good day. And we'll see you next time.
Beaming up.
Get out of my eyes, teardrops. Gotta see my way.